Alright, this is a preliminary test using a winch hooked to the tractor to pull the cart. And then I put a bungee on there just in case the winch, I don't want it to drag the chainsaw in too hard, so that gives it a little bit of give. The cheap $49 Harbor Freight winch that runs off a remote control, which is kind of nice. So I'm going to put you on the tripod, start chainsawing, go for another cut here. This will be my last cut because I got to sharpen the chain every 2 cuts, but Monday I'll have my ripping chain in, and that's supposed to last a lot longer because this is a chisel chain and it dulls up every 2 board lengths basically. And I'm going through a tank of gas. That's why eventually I want to put this and use a lawnmower motor. Because I'm running a tank of gas every cut. So. Alright, let's give it a shot here. Definitely took a load off of my back, having to push the cart. Looks like a cut. Give you a quick idea of what I got going on here. These are 7-foot fence poles from southern states. I welded them together, ground them smooth. They got those bumps on the back. I used the chalk line, popped a straight chalk line in. Took the chainsaw, drug a groove in those top boards, so those bumps laid right down in there. And here we got skateboard bearings and skateboard wheels. It rides on the top of that track. These are rollerblade wheels from an old pair of rollerblades. It keeps it centered on that side. You could basically push this thing all the way down with no effort. I put some rocks here just to kind of keep it down. I'm going to redesign this with real steel. This is basically just an old desk frame that I had laying around, scrap steel, and the desk frame is really light and hard to weld, extremely hard to weld because it melts. So eventually I'm going to buy myself some actual tube steel and rebuild this frame. But only benefit of it being like the way it is right now, it's extremely light. So can pick it up, slide it down to the other end of the track. Now let's do the level test. I painstakingly leveled those pallets in the ground and those tracks. My goal is to eventually be able to resurface this barn. As you can see, it's probably hadn't been painted in 50 years. We got it, this whole wall was falling down. Thanks to Billy Boer for coming over and helping me. We put 4x4s in there and redid that wall. And then I'm using the 2x6 tops of these pallets to redo the sides over here, but eventually I gotta do the whole barn. Now here's a level. And look at that. You can't ask for a better straight cut than that. She is level as they get. Nice straight cut all the way down the board. I got a little bit of jumping in here, and I think that's partially because that chain is dull. And then I put the doubler on the winch. Eventually I think I'm gonna do away with the winch, and I'm just gonna put a pole or a ladder in over here with a block as a weight, and just use a weight to pull down on the cable, and that'll give a nice consistent pressure, because I don't need much. It's just gotta gently pull the saw in. And this is just a piece of heavy-duty angle. I welded a piece of steel underneath here to sandwich the bar down, so the chain actually misses where it's welded, and smooth this out here, and that way if it hits the edge of the log it kind of rolls off. And then I drilled some holes in the back of the angle iron so that the teeth kind of fit in there so it doesn't move and that chain doesn't end up hitting those bolts. But this is what I got so far, and this is pine. I did do one solid piece of oak when I first made the mill. It will cut through oak, but unfortunately my little saw, I think it's only like 3.49 horsepower, and I don't think that's really enough to do what I need to do. I think I'm gonna need something with a little bit more beef. But this is the throttle. All you gotta do is so simple, super simple. You turn the shaft, have a slip knot there, and it squeezes the throttle. Unturn it, and it pops right loose. So I can screw this up and down to do my elevation. But when I redo it, I think instead of having the 3 poles, because it creates kind of a bind, I'm just gonna do one solid, like 3-inch square tube steel shaft with a 3¼ inch collar to slide up and down, and just at one heavy duty base. And then I'll put the threaded rod in the center of the steel shaft to lift it up, and then I don't have 4 different bolts to tighten, or 3 different bolts to tighten down. And like I said, this was really just a proof of concept, and I'm definitely happy. This gives me the ability to do a 20-foot log. And I didn't have a Reese hookup for the front of the tractor, so I just used a socket and slipped it in the front there. It's just like I said, again, this is a proof of concept situation. So obviously I got a screwdriver to get those loose. Alright, I'm going to sign off. God bless y'all. Thanks for watching. I know it's a long-winded video. Bye-bye.